Peace, y'all. It's your girl, Ryder Creator, coming back with another one. Welcome to my channel, a place where true crime meets intuition. So today, I wanted to tap my intuition into the horrific massacre of the Idaho Four. I prefer to call them by their names: Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan. So let's get into their case and do some research and readings. Let's go.
Moscow, Idaho, a beautiful, quiet college town near the border with Washington State, blanketed in snow this time of year, and home to the University of Idaho, with 11,000 students who have almost never had a reason not to feel safe.
The worst crimes we see in town involve things like bike theft or cars getting keyed or something like that. We're a nice little artsy town that provides a great quality of life to a lot of people.
But what happened in the early morning hours of November 13th has shaken this community like never before.
I'm scared too. This is a worrying time, but we also have the ability to understand that this is just another example that crime happens, and it can happen anywhere.
Fear, a college community still in shock following the brutal stabbings of 4 of their students. So many asking, how did this happen? We start on the evening of Saturday, November 12th. Kaylee Gonsalves and Madison Mogan, where many college students spend their Saturday nights. At this local bar, the Corner Club on North Main Street in downtown Moscow. According to local law enforcement, the two were at the bar between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At around 1:40 a.m., Kaylee and Madison moved over to a local food truck. You can see them here on surveillance video from the Grub Truck down the street on South Main Street. News Nation has confirmed the two women used a private party for a ride home from downtown to their home on King Road. The home is about a mile and a half, or about a 6-minute drive from the food truck. They got home around 1:56 a.m., according to digital evidence collected by investigators. Investigators also say Kaylee and Madison made several calls to an ex-boyfriend of one of the girls 7 times, raising some eyebrows. That person has now been cleared, according to law enforcement. Kaylee Gonsalves' sister spoke with News Nation's Chris Cuomo.
There's no boy problem. There's no threat. There's no high-risk lifestyle that could have indicated this. It has taken all of us completely by shock, and we have absolutely no ideas.
Another roommate, Xana Kernodle, and her boyfriend, Ethan Chapin, were also out the night of November 12th. Investigators confirm Ethan and Xana were seen at the Sigma Chi fraternity house on the University of Idaho campus. Here's where things get a little shaky. Law enforcement confirms with News Nation Ethan and Xana were seen at the fraternity house around 9 p.m. They reportedly made it back home around 1:45 a.m. Investigators are still trying to piece together what happened between 9 p.m. and 1:45 a.m.
Figure out who they were with, what was going on, maybe any routes or paths that they took to end up going home, those types of things. Potentially, that is critical to the investigation.
As for the two surviving roommates, they were also out on the night of November 12th in the Moscow community. They returned home by 1 a.m. The two surviving roommates did not wake up until later in the morning on November 13th. That is when they called other friends to the house because they believed one of the second-floor victims had passed out and was not waking up. At 11:58 a.m. on November 13th, a 911 call requested aid for an unconscious person. The call was made from one of the surviving roommates' cell phones inside the residence. Multiple people talked with the 911 dispatcher before Moscow police arrived at the home. Officers discovered Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan dead inside the residence on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the home, suffering from stab wounds.
It was a pretty large knife, so it's really hard to call them puncture wounds. And they were definitely stabbings, and I mean, it has to be somebody that's pretty angry in order to stab 4 people to death.
So many questions unanswered. Authorities remaining tight-lipped, saying there are many details still simply don't know. Do you know inside the house whether the victims' doors were locked into their individual rooms?
I don't know that.
Do you know were any messages left behind in the house, like almost symbols from the killer? Because sometimes in other cases, if it was like a fetish killing, they would leave something on the body or write something on the wall. Is there anything like that?
I'm not aware of anything like that.
While authorities remain tight-lipped, we are learning other details from the families of the victims. At the vigil on campus Wednesday night, Kaylee's father gave insight into how close his daughter and Madison were discovered, saying the two were found together in the same bed. Earlier this week, there was confusion when law enforcement said there was a miscommunication between police and the county prosecutor about whether this was a targeted attack or not.
My understanding is the investigators believe that whoever's responsible was specifically looking at this particular residence. That's all that they can offer at this point.
The latest from police is they do think the murders were targeted, but police say they have not concluded if the target was the house or one of the occupants. Investigators have also confirmed a sixth person on the lease was not in the home at the time of the murders.
So, I wanted to do a suspect profile on this person. So, let's get into it. Everything said is allegedly. Nothing is proven fact. The suspect is a military man who lives in the neighborhood. A white male around 25 years old. I want to say exactly 25 years old, but I'm going to say in his 20s just to be safe. He's in the Army. He's in the Army Reserves. Or he was in the Army Reserves. He could have got kicked out. He has dark brown hair. He has short hair like Adam Levine wears his hair. He has a mustache and a little poof of hair on the bottom of his chin. That's supposed to be like a beard. So he's very muscular, like LeBron type of muscles. The knife, I didn't want to say that yet, but the weapon used is a utility or hunting knife or some type of weapon. As far as that, they call them sporting knives, I believe, but I can't remember exactly. I feel like the man lives in the back of the college students within a block radius. I feel like this man snapped out because the kids were making too much noise. There was a noise complaint 2 months earlier. I believe that the suspect cut himself during the attack in his left hand. He might have cut a couple of his fingers off. And he cut from his finger to his wrist, where the wrist and the hand meet. What else do I want to say? Okay, he came through the back, in my opinion, through the back patio near the kitchen and went up the back staircase. 2B is Ethan and Xana's room, in my opinion. That's from my gifts. I think the man who did this lives on Queen Road. There is his DNA mixed into the crime scene. Hopefully the lab is very meticulous about checking for his DNA. I believe they really need to check that back patio near the kitchen as well, because and anywhere that a person could try to get in, because I believe his DNA there. I feel like Kaylee's injuries were significantly worse than Madison's because she was the object of his hatred and aggression, because he felt like she was like the loudest or something like that. But it was really against all of them. I believe that Xana and Ethan were attacked first. I believe that they came home around 11. They went to the party at 9 p.m. and came home at 11. I believe that the murderer still has the weapon. It's his trophy, and he never cleaned it. And I hope they check that patio door once again. So I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you guys about. I just wanted to give you the read of what I got about this situation. I hope that it was satisfying. I feel like it's more things, but it's only a couple of details that I cannot share with the public because I feel like it is too much. But that's it for today. Please like the video, subscribe, and share, comment, all that good stuff. I love y'all. Peace.